our heart is close. We can get through this with the same goal.
Listen to your conscience, love yourself. Listen to your conscience, love the world. It's our only home, you're not alone. With our conscience we can stand as one. Listen to your conscience, no anger. Listen to your conscience, no worries. Listen to your conscience, no tension. Hold on, don't give up, we'll get through this.
When the world slows down, I gotta calm my heart. I look into myself and evaluate my actions. I admit that I'm lost. Did everything mean nothing? I fear my conscience calling that I can make something with my life, make a change and improve. Doesn't have to be big, it's something I gotta do. I need to change myself, my words and my actions. Conscience pulls me through, yeah. Me and you, as humans, from purity we stray away. Conscience, the inner compass, can lead the way. Conscience is knowing what's right from wrong. Conscience is our guide to a peaceful world. Happiness, the most important thing. Like the bell of peace, make your voices ring. Spread your happiness, bring your friends along. We can get through this with the same goal.
Listen to your conscience, love yourself.
Love yourself.
Listen to your conscience, love the world.
Love the world.
It's our only home, you're not alone.
Not
With
alone.
our conscience we can stand as one.
Stand as one.
Listen to your conscience, no anger.
Just smile.
Listen to your conscience, no worries.
Let it go.
Listen to your conscience, no tension.
Just relax.
Don't give up, we'll get through this. La 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 la. La 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 la. Listen to your conscience, love the world. Hold on, don't give up. We will get through this.
Tell me, is it just me or are you worried too? Worried about the world that we're heading to. Suffering too much, we've all had enough.
Let's make a change, let's hit restart.
We celebrate conscience on April 5th. Being kind and honest, spread your love. Gather your friends, our conscience awakens.
Uniting, protecting, we're all in common.
Now we all know about this viral pandemic. People dying and we're losing many paramedics. This new disease,
It's all in the air.
country shutting down.
What? I mean everywhere.
Be selfless.
Wear masks.
For help.
Wash your hands.
For true love.
Stay at home.
Be kind.
Save the world.
We're far apart, but our heart is close. We can get through this with the same goal.
Listen to your conscience, love yourself. Listen to your conscience, love the world. It's our only home, you're not alone. With our conscience we can stand as one. Listen to your conscience, no anger. Listen to your conscience, no worries. Listen to your conscience, no tension. Hold on, don't give up, we'll get through this.
When the world slows down, I gotta calm my heart. I look into myself and evaluate my actions. I admit that I'm lost. Did everything mean nothing? I fear my conscience calling that I can make something with my life, make a change and improve. Doesn't have to be big, it's something I gotta do. I need to change myself, my words and my actions. Conscience pulls me through, yeah. Me and you, as humans, from purity we stray away. Conscience, the inner compass, can lead the way. Conscience is knowing what's right from wrong. Conscience is our guide to a peaceful world. Happiness, the most important thing. Like the bell of peace, make your voices ring. Spread your happiness, bring your friends along. We can get through this with the same goal.
Listen to your conscience, love yourself.
Love yourself.
Listen to your conscience, love the world.
Love the
It's our
world.
only home, you're not alone.
Not
With our
alone.
conscience we can stand as one.
Stand as one.
Listen to your conscience, no anger.
Just smile.
Listen to your conscience, no worries.
Let it go.
Listen to your conscience, no tension.
Just relax.
Don't give up, we'll get through this. La 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 la. La 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 la. Listen to your conscience, love the world. Hold on, don't give up. We will get through this.
everyone. Thank you for joining us to celebrate the United Nations World Environment Day. The celebration has been held annually since 1973, and it is the largest global platform for environmental public outreach celebrated by millions of people across the world. This year, the celebration calls for collective action to tackle plastic pollution by drawing inspiration from nature and showcasing real-world solutions. The campaign will encourage individuals, organizations, industries, and governments to adopt sustainable practices that drive systematic change. UNEP's director, Inger Anderson, has a message for this year's Beat Plastic Pollution movement. Let's welcome her message.
Plastic pollution impacts every ecosystem and every person on this planet. By 2040, plastic leakage to the environment is predicted to grow by 50%. And that pollution creeps into our bodies through the food we eat, the water we drink, and even the air that we breathe. But we can unleash and unite to unleash innovative solutions that tackle the life cycle of plastics, solutions that enable the deployment of alternatives and ultimately drive down plastic pollution leaking into our environment, solutions that rethink how products are designed and how we make, use and reuse plastics, and solutions that help protect our health, our environment and our communities. The world is closing in on a global treaty to end plastic pollution. So, on World Environment Day, let's all recommit to beat plastic pollution once and for all.
Let's recommit to beat plastic pollution. Do you have good methods for doing so? Please share your tips in the comment section below. In celebration of World Environment Day, Dr. Hong Daozi, president of the Federation of World Peace and Love, has prepared a message, Safeguard the Environment with Conscience to secure a sustainable future. Let's welcome Dr. Hong's message.
Distinguished guests, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, good day. Today, we come together in response to World Environment Day, an important moment for global environmental action and a vital reminder for humanity to fulfill its commitment to sustainable development. The theme of World Environment Day 2025 is ending plastic pollution. Since the early 20th century, plastic products have become increasingly integrated into our daily lives across food, clothing, housing, and transportation. Today, the world produces over 430 million tons of plastic annually. Its non-biodegradable nature has caused extensive pollution, contaminating ecosystems and food chains, and threatening the health and living spaces of both humans and wildlife. This year, the international community is working toward a legally binding global treaty to tackle plastic pollution. This global effort is not only about environmental protection, it concerns humanity's very survival, including our health, ecological balance, and sustainable economy. As we reflect on solutions to end plastic pollution, I sincerely call on everyone to begin with environmental protection of the heart. Our global village needs every world citizen to awaken their conscience. Only when we protect our planet with conscience, cultivate kind thoughts and carry out kind actions can humanity truly resolve environmental pollution. The root of plastic pollution lies in overconsumption and the pursuit of convenience. Only by changing consumption habits at the source, by reducing plastic use in our daily lives, choosing sustainable products, minimizing single-use plastics, promoting environmental education, and urging governments and businesses to enforce green policies, can we move forward. When every global citizen takes conscientious action, motivated by self-awareness and responsibility, a sweeping wave of environmental protection will emerge, bringing real change to restore a healthy Earth and truly overcome this environmental crisis, to secure a sustainable home for humanity. In 2025, the doomsday clock has reached 89 seconds to midnight, the closest humanity has ever been to extinction. At this critical juncture, we face the gravest environmental challenges in history. Let us unite our hope and our power, and with steadfast resolve, turn the tide to achieve sustainable development. Each person can make a wish to protect the earth, and more importantly, commit to concrete action, becoming a force for change. When all of humanity joins hands to bring hope into reality, environmental protection will no longer be just an ideal, but a tangible, transformative movement. A towering tree begins with a single seed. In this moment of catastrophe and upheaval, the arrival of World Environment Day invites us to pray for all life on Earth. May true love shine across the planet, easing the fears, sorrows, and sufferings of all beings. Let us ignite the light of hope together, uniting and advancing hand in hand toward a brighter future. We call upon all humanity to cherish and protect our environment, firmly believing that every choice made with conscience will become a blessing for future generations. With heartfelt wishes, may conscience protect the earth and all beings thrive. May the power of hope inspire action, bringing lasting greenery to the world. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Hong. As we reflect on solutions to end plastic pollution, Dr. Hong calls on everyone to begin with environmental protection of the heart, as the root of plastic pollution lies in overconsumption and the pursuit of convenience. When we become aware and take action to reduce plastic use in our daily lives, we can take conscientious actions and bring real change to restore a healthy earth. As we are faced with the gravest environmental challenges, let us unite our hope and power to achieve sustainable development. And as Dr. Hong suggested, each of us can make a wish to protect the earth and commit to concrete actions. So be sure to make your wish and carry it out in your daily lives. For this event, we received many well wishes from ministers around the world. Let us welcome their best wishes, starting with a personal message from Dr. Henry Ori, Minister of Education, Science and Culture of Suriname. Welcome.
Environmental responsibility is a lifeline in my life. I am aware every day of how to deal with environmental issues like the use of water, waste management, the use of electricity, talking to people to change their attitudes for a better preserving of our environment. A moment when I felt deeply connected to the nature was when I saw people throwing waste in the nature. I came out from my car and talked to these people not to do these things and asked to respect the environment. How conscience can guide our actions towards sustainability and environment justice. This has to do with teaching knowledge and attitudes on sustainable development. We need to train people in schools and in the workforces to deal with aspects of sustainable development. It is education, training, schooling of the civil society. How family can play a good role in shaping greener and more sustainable future. It begins with raising kids, open talks in the family. It started at home and in basic education. The younger we start with education and training, the better it is with the kids. We should advocate environmental education in primary education and teach young children to respect nature and environment. If I could send one message to the world about environment, it would be think global, act local.
Thank you all for your well wishes. As Dr. Ori suggests, open talks in families and education are both very important. And the younger we start, the better the future we can create. So let us all think global and act local. Next, we would like to share with you a special video by the UNEP about the sea woman who has been living in harmony with the oceans since she was a little girl. Let's take a look at the world from Young's perspective.
버리지 말고 클린하우스에 넣어줬으면 좋겠다고. 정리정돈해서. 그 떠내려와서 이까지 오게 하지 말고. 우리 텃밭인데 쓰레기를 주워야 되잖아. 이름은 장영입니다. 물질을 한 지는 15살부터 시작해가지고 올해가 56년째 됐고 너무 못 살아서 벌어먹을 것이 없어서 가난하게 살아서 그때는 장난감 자체가 없으니까 바다에 가서 물에 장난치다 보니까 더워서 치다 보니까 물질을 배워진 거. 저의 장난감이에요. 바닷속이 예쁘고 뭐 있으면 문어도 있고 소라도 있고 하니까 재미있지. 따다 먹기도 하고 뭐 양득이지. 그런 거 뭐 막 어렵게 생각 안 하고 배웠어. 우리는 지금에 와서 해녀 학교가 생겨서 플라스틱 같은 쓰레기 어디서 날아왔는지 모르겠어요. 플라스틱 쓰레기가 너무 많이 날아오고 근데 파도가 한번 치면 이 가에 쓰레기 엄청 들려요. 근데 이거를 우리가 해녀들이 하다가 안 돼가지고 너무 많은 계속 주워놔요. 주워서 푸대에 담으면 이제 아무 데나 쓰레기를 버릴 수 없잖아요. 이제 클린하우스에 갖다 놔야 되기 때문에 이 바다에서 나오는 쓰레기는 클린하우스에 못 갖다 놓게 해요. 이렇게 모아놓으면 옥사면서 한꺼번에 차로 한 차씩 싣고 와. 플라스틱 오염 종식 됐어요? 가자! 물에 들어야 된다. 아이고 다려.
Justice Yang said, "It's our garden, so we have to pick up our trash." What a beautiful perspective. And we're very glad to share with you another story from the ocean produced by the Lewis Pearl Foundation. Lewis shares his experience swimming in the sea. Let's enjoy.
So after 12 days of swimming around Martha's Vineyard, I finally arrived back where I started again here at the lighthouse. And I can just say that I am absolutely exhausted. It was the wind, it was the cold, it was the waves, the distance, and then obviously constantly thinking about what was beneath me. So the final swim was from the Jaws Bridge all the way back here to the lighthouse. And you know, if you watch the movie, you'll know that that's a terrifying scene.
All in the sheet, make it
But when I swam there, it was actually just the most peaceful place, and there were people who were fishing, there were people swimming in the sea, and there were people just enjoying themselves, looking out over the ocean. I hope that we're able to change the perceptions of people that the ocean is just a wonderful place to be in. It's not a place where we should be terrified. Yes, we need to respect sharks. We need to ensure that we protect them, but we mustn't be frightened of the ocean. I'd just like to thank everybody who has sent messages of support over these 12 days. Thank you so much. It has meant an awful lot to me. There were some days where I was only able to swim for 1 mile because the conditions were so bad. I remember waking up and then reading lots of messages of support and people saying, keep on going, Lewis. And it really did make a big difference. So thank you so much.
Our Earth is so beautiful. We must learn to take time out of our busy schedules to appreciate the natural beauties. And in support of environmental protection, the UNEP Executive Director Inger Anderson has launched a series of talks to highlight the 2025 environmental agenda. Their first conversation is with Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Ms. Amina Mohammed. Let's see what we can learn from their beautiful discussion.
So 2025 is a huge year for the environmental agenda, and we're doing a series of talks, and what an honor it is that you are the inaugural person with whom I have the great honor and privilege to speaking, our Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Ms. Amina Mohammed. What a pleasure it is to have you here in beautiful Nairobi. You have many, many things on your agenda, we know, but one of the things that is also under your big umbrella is the whole environmental dimension of sustainable development. And we have seen a lot of attention being paid to critical minerals in the energy transition. Why is this important and why now?
Well, first of all, congratulations, because last year was also a busy year for environment, and there were many things that you did that have helped us to really think about the ambition and how we're going to shape this year. Critical minerals, I mean, last year we looked at the conversation and the discourse around exploitation of critical minerals, given the energy transitions that we're all engaged with, given that we were going to be looking to see how critical minerals would play its role in technology. In particular, the use of AI, which was moving in leaps and bounds, and suddenly we were talking about data centers, and we were talking about all sorts of things that were going to impact the environment. But also, you know, not really having any guardrails around critical minerals, the next big exploitation. And is it one for the opportunities that we see in our green transitions and energy transitions, or is it going to be not so good? Where there is no visibility, horrible things happen in the dark, and the exploitation becomes history repeating itself.
Right.
And so for that reason, putting together a whole bunch of experts that the SG has a report that comes out of did two important things for why it's important. Set the principles around which we want to see the exploitation for the benefit of mankind with the context of environment in place. And get 5 recommendations that we got out of this to say, how do we go about doing this?
Right.
So I think it's, you know, let us take the opportunity of critical minerals. Right now, we see China and we see DRC and we see Chile, but there will be many more countries
Indeed.
that will be exploited for this. Can we get ahead of it? And can we make sure that the environment and people are safer because of it and not so?
Well, this is so great what you're saying, and we were very pleased that the Secretary General and yourselves established this panel and moved it forward in the way that you did. And for us, you know, we think about, we can't have the old colonial extractive patterns repeat themselves. So how do we have value add? And of course, how do we ensure that people don't abandon things and that leaves environmental scars? And of course, this whole take, make, and waste, how do we get circularity? So this is what we will bring to the agenda. And we look forward and hope that UNEA will look at this issue. UNEA has been quite seized with mining, and so we'll see what they ask us to do on this topic.
Well, Inga, the recommendations which cover 3 of the things that you just talked about also include that we have to do right and justice by the people, indigenous people who are in these environments that will be exploited, and we need to put a fund to put guardrails around that,
Exactly.
To invest in them the knowledge that they know what it is their rights are and how they can engage with government and with the private sector that will come in. I think we also need to understand it's more than just the environment, because the environment in which critical minerals are being exploited are also the context of conflict. And so when you say we're addressing so many things, there will be a conflict, and somewhere there is part of that root cause is the exploitations of minerals. And so I hope that we can also see this as addressing the prevention of conflicts, and that there are, you know, good, safe market solutions to this, and the value addition, the traceability, the circularity that you talked about are all addressed.
Wonderful. I want to ask you another issue, because another big meeting that's going to be happening is in Brazil. Our Brazilian friends have
put up their hand and say, we will host this very critical COP, COP30, in Belém, in beautiful Brazil. And so what is it that we, the United Nations, and frankly, we, the world, should be focusing on? We know that there are these promises that we give each other every 5 years, these national determined contributions. What do we need to see in them, and what is it that you would like to see happen in Belém?
Well, I mean, we're coming off the back of the global stock take that said to us, now we have to have NDCs, our plans for, you know, the climate crisis, environment, biodiversity. But it did say this needs to be sector-wide. This needs to be economy-wide. That's so much more difficult to do than what we've ever had to do. But we also had the conference in Baku, which promised the resources to try to make that happen. So when we land in Belém, can we ensure that we have an understanding, and what is reflected in the NDCs are about the economy, industrialization, everything that we need to invest in is going green if it hasn't gone. And if it's new to us, can we start with green, blue, turquoise, as we know? Can we align the resources for that? Because no one's going to come to the table with an NDC that is sector-wide, that has to have a very serious macroeconomic perspective to it, if we're not going to see the resources. So that 300 billion that we got in Baku, can we take it over the trillion to Belém? So it will be another opportunity for us to lean in on the 1.5 degree world that we want. The UN system, and you've been anchoring much of that, has said, well, look, we're going to look at 35 countries, which represent just over 80% of the emissions. If we get sector-wide NDCs in those countries alone, we will have gone further down the road.
Precisely.
But we can't leave the others behind, and so we will encourage them to come along. So Belém will be another opportunity for us to get it right, and we keep below the bar, and we need to just, you know, edge this much higher for the ambition. We're in a very difficult world right now, and I think we need to show what can be done through the NDCs and how it can be an agenda of, as you've always told me, the triple planetary crisis. We have talked about climate action, but that is development, that is adaptation, that is looking at biodiversity, that is the pollution. And unless we see that, we will be speaking way above the heads of those who have to implement, take the policy decisions, bring the money.
I mean, for us, of course, this milestone is absolutely critical. We will, as always, be issuing our emissions gap report, our adaptation gap report. But we will also showcase, I mean, we're speaking in Kenya where more than 90% of electricity is renewable. There are solutions, and they are the job creators, and they are the growth engines. And so this is what you always said, that it is a development dimension. As we close out, let me just ask you this, and I'm sure you get asked this all the time. But as you look at the complexity that you just referred to now in the political environment, and yet you soldier on, you have this energy that just keeps going. So what gives you hope? What gives you the ability to get up in the morning and just continue soldiering on?
Beyond the chocolate I eat. Okay, it's what is it that will happen in this world if we don't do it? It's the number of people and the environments that we will lose. And I can see that in my country every day. I grew up in Lake Chad. We used to go across on the hovercraft in the 60s. Today, that's not possible. And so I can see the damage to the environment around me. It will worsen. And that damage means worse for people, for women, for children. So the implications of inaction, the implications of not keeping up the energy to get past the cynics, to get past the deniers, to get past those who've got lots of inertia, and to find those who have the same mindset and to gather that momentum to move ahead. We've just come out of meetings on the food systems. It's a big deal for smart agriculture to be understood better and invested in where the environment is in consideration. It's a big deal that nutrition happens not with us just thinking that we've got only a livestock agenda. We have a much bigger agenda for us to have nutritious meals in schools. So it's the can-do that gets me up. And there is an awful lot. We've never had so much in our hands to do stuff than today. And so why should we fail?
Ms. Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, thank you for coming to Kenya, and thank you for this conversation.
Thank you for having me and the work that you do.
Thank you.
As Ms. Muhammad said, it's the can-dos that gets me up. So what are your lists of can-dos? Occasions like today are a great reminder for us to recollect our thoughts and act again to ensure the sustainable development of our world. Efforts on environmental protection will require our constant care and updates to ensure that we are always improving our methods to boost the betterment of our world. The United Nations hosts great platforms for us to do so, and it has held larger events from time to time to remind us of the things we can do collectively for our world. In 2022, the United Nations General Assembly hosted the Stockholm Plus 50 conference in Sweden. The event provided leaders with an opportunity to draw on 50 years of multilateral environmental action to achieve the bold and urgent action needed to secure a better future on a healthy planet. FOWPAL also attended the conference and hosted the ceremony of ringing the bell of world peace and love, and we heard wonderful words of action and encouragement from world leaders like Dr. Aldo Manos and His Excellency Dono Kanyaru. We'd like to once again share their message with you, followed by the song We Can Change the World. Let us calm our hearts with the song and make our wish for the world.
Well, I know that peace is our most important objective, but we also know that is the most difficult one. So this requires all our commitment, all our energy, and all our faith. And I'm very humbled and honored to be invited here today in front of this important symbol. The bell in all religions in the world is rung as a message to the world and to somebody else, so that what we hope will be realized. And with the help of everybody, it will be realized. Thank you. I have a message for all the very young people and the young at heart who are here with us today, but especially for the young ones. I think you should look at an old man and think that one day it will be your turn to be in front of this ceremony, that there is life after retirement, that life is long and gives you opportunity and satisfaction beyond your wildest dreams. When I was here 50 years ago, I never imagined in my wildest dream that I would be invited back 50 years from now. It's like you thinking of the year 2072. It looks something very funny and very far away. It is only 50 years from now. And you will be here and you will perhaps remember this old man. Thank you.
Okay, This is the foundation of life and development, in that it is the basis of human understanding, at one with nature, and really the hope of humanity. So we all should subscribe to it for our happiness. And then today, you are there to see the commitment that many of you, the young ones, will be consecrating 50 years down the road. I won't be there, but those who are there would still remember that 50 years previously, they met the authors of the decision that had earlier been made. I would then be resting in peace with the environment, with the nature, and quietly in undisputable love of life and death combined. Thank you very much.
Indeed, we can make the world better by following our hearts. Let us find some time every day to calm our hearts and listen to the guidance of our conscience and change our world. Lastly, let's hear from people of the world on the call to beat plastic pollution.
Komesha uchafuzi wa plastiki.
Becamp plastic forurening.
Beat plastic pollution.
Let's beat plastic pollution.
Combata a poluição plástica.
Beat plastic pollution!
Plastic pollution is one of the most urgent environmental crises of our time. It's in our rivers, oceans, food, and even in our bodies.
But this is a crisis we can fix.
速战速决，对抗塑料污染。
Acaba con la contaminación plástica.
The world is close to agreeing on a treaty to end plastic pollution.
Beat plastic pollution.
Beat plastic pollution.
Help get the treaty across the line. Make your voice heard.
Beat plastic pollution.
Beat plastic pollution.
Thank you for joining us today to celebrate World Environment Day. Let us continue the celebration into our daily lives and beat plastic pollution together and create the beautiful world we all wish to live in. Our next event will be June 18th to celebrate the International Day for Countering Hate Speech. Be sure to join us then, and we'll see you next time. Bye!